right, second part of the video. So let's see, your answer on example 3 is actually supposed to be the same as example 2. And the order doesn't really matter, but it should have been radical 6 plus radical 2 over 4. So if you were able to get that, great job. If not, we're going to work through it. So we had already experimented up here with pi over 3 and pi over 4, and adding would have been a 4 plus 3, which is 7. So we know to get 7 pi over 12, we're going to do sine. So you're going to do sine pi over 3 plus pi over 4. And for sine, you remember it's cosine, cosine, sine, 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 cosine, cosine, sine. So you want sine, cosine, sine pi over 3, cosine pi over 4, same sign, so plus comes down. And now you're going to switch. You're going to go cosine, sine. So cosine pi over 3, sine pi over 4. Remember, pi over 3 is just 60, so 60 degrees, or the 60 degree, yeah, for sine will be radical 3 over 2 times rad 2 over 2 for cosine pi over 4, again, coming from the unit circle, plus cosine of 60 is 1/2 times rad 2 over 2. And then we're in that same predicament we were before, so multiply the tops, rad 6 over 4, plus 1 times rad 2 over 4. Combine them until you get that. Now we're going to flip over and do some other ones on the back. So this time you got sine of 195. So 195, again, I recommend you try to break it down to addition. 150 plus 45 degrees. 150, just, we had it on the front though, 5 pi over 6. So it's in the family of the 30 degrees. And then 45 pi over 4. Okay. This one, just be careful because this time we are not just sitting in quadrant 1 for this. So the other problems, we did not have to worry about the positive or negativeness of them because we were in quadrant 1. Well, 195, you know, is 150, 180 is here in quadrant 3. Okay, so if we're in quadrant 3, all students take, so tangent, okay, so tangent's positive, which means sine and cosine will not be positive. Oh, wait. Hang on, not in quadrant 3. 5 pi over 6 is in quadrant 2. Sorry about that. So pi over 4, we're at 50 degrees. I was back at 195. 150 we know is here. So that's 5 pi over 6. All students, so sine will have positive, but your cosine will be negative. So you're going to do sine. Make sure we got this. So you're going to do sine of 150 plus 45 degrees. And again, you can use other values. You just want to make sure that you are consistent, so, and that your math matches. So I'm going to do sine of 5 pi over 6, cosine 45. Now, I'm going in between degrees and radians. You really should keep them all in one, but 45, I think most of you realize, is just pi over 4. Sometimes the radians are easier, though, to compute, because then you know this is a family of 30. This is a family of the 4s, 45s. So you can go from there. You want to keep the sign the same. Then you're going to do cosine of 5 pi over 6, and then sine of pi over 4. But again, this is going to be negative, because 5 pi over 6 is sitting in quadrant 2, where only sine is positive. Again, this is in the 30 family, so this is going to be a 1/2, and then pi over 4 is rad 2 over 2, plus this one's going to be radical 3 over 2, but make sure it's negative, negative rad 3 over 2, and then rad 2 over 2, and same idea, multiply together. So 1 times rad 2 is rad 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and then this is going to be a negative rad 6, so I'm just going to go ahead and put negative rad 6 over 4. So this time you're going to get rad 2 minus rad 6 over 4, but again, you start to see you get kind of the same values over and over. Now let's try a couple tangents. So we've done some cosines, we've done some sines. Tangent, okay, so you want 105. So again, as much as you can try to keep those in quadrant 1, it makes it easier. So let's say we do 60 plus 45. So 60 degrees plus 45 degrees will give us 105. So when you're doing your tangent though, so remember it's tan of 60 plus 45. So you want to pretend like you're distributing the tangent. So tangent of 60, and then tangent of 45. I'm sorry, plus, keep the sign the same. Then the bottom is going to be 1 minus, because opposite of this one. Now you're going to multiply these two values. Now multiply tan 60, multiply tan 45. Now tangent, you probably should do a little bit of side work, because you need to know for tangent of 60, you're going to do sine of 60 over cosine of 60. So 60 degrees, let me get that down. And 60 degrees is the point 1/2 comma rad 3 over 2. Because remember, we go 3, 2, 1, so we want that last one. So 1/2 rad 3 over 2. So you want y over x for tangent, so y over x. So rad 3 over 2 over 1/2. So if you remember, that just simplifies to radical 3. So anywhere we get a tan 60, we're going to put rad 3. And then tangent of 45, remember, is rad 2 over 2 over rad 2 over 2, or just 1. So those are the values. Again, recommend you do them off to the side first, then plug them back into your equation. So you want tan of 60, so we're going to go radical 3 plus tangent of 45, which is 1, over 1 minus tan 60, radical 3, and you're multiplying this time, so make sure you change it, times tan 1. Not a whole lot goes on here, so radical 3 plus 1 over 1 minus rad 3. Now, you cannot leave radicals in the denominator, so what you need to do is multiply top and bottom by the conjugate. So we're going to multiply by 1 plus rad 3 to bottom and 1 plus rad 3 to the top. On top, you're going to FOIL this out. So you're going to do rad 3 times 1, rad 3 times 3. So rad 3 times 1 is rad 3. Rad 3 times rad 3 is just 3, because it'd be radical 9, but radical 9 is just 3. And now go 1 times 1, so plus 1. 1 times rad 3, over. Since it's a conjugate, these middles are going to drop off. So the shortcut is just do the first ones and the last ones and stick a minus in between. So 1 times 1 is 1. And then minus rad 3 and rad 3, we said is just 3. Simplify that out. So you can put these two together. That's going to give you a 4. And then this is 1 radical 3 plus 1 radical 3. So these two will add as 2 radical 3 over, and then 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And now you're going to divide everybody out. I would divide by negative 2. So divide by negative 2, negative 2, negative 2. So then this will end up being negative 2. This is negative 1, so minus rad 3, and that's your final answer. So your tangents will give you kind of different answers that you haven't done before. Another tangent, let's do 15. So we did a plus, let's do a minus. So again, as much as you can, try to reuse values. So tan of 15, we're going to write as 60 minus 45 degrees, especially because you already did all the math on it, so you already know what the values are because we just computed them. So for the formula, remember it's like distributing, so you're going to do tan of 60, keep the same sign, minus tan of 45, and you always want to write it out initially to get used to it. So tan of 60 minus tan 45 over 1 plus, opposite of this, tan 60 times tan 45. And then put in all your values. You know this is radical 3 minus 1 over 1 plus rad 3 times 1. So rad 3 minus 1 on top, 1 plus rad 3 on the bottom. We're in the same situation as above. Can't have radicals in the bottom. Conjugate is opposite of this. You're going to do 1 minus rad 3 to top and bottom, 1 minus rad 3. Again, distribute out on top. The bottom, just do the first and the last and then make it a negative. So this will end up giving us radical 3 times 1, so rad 3 times negative rad 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative rad 3 is positive rad 3 over 1 times 1 is 1. Rad 3 and negative rad 3, negative 3. And then again, like terms, you can put together the negative 3 and the negative 1, giving you negative 4. 1 rad 3 and 1 rad 3 makes 2 rad 3 over negative 2. And then same idea, divide everybody by negative 2. So this will change to a positive. This will be negative and then rad 3. And you also could put a 1 there. It doesn't give you a right or wrong answer if you do that. So if it's helpful to put a 1, go for it. Doesn't matter. And that's the answer for that one.